here, 25th of November. Welcome to the Daily Ninja Show. If you're new here, welcome aboard. This is where we go through the high risk, high reward shares ETF that surround the tank, this guy, which we use to build our portfolio to ride this resource bull market. If you haven't seen him before, I'll leave a vid at the end. He's sort of your core holding, and you add some ninjas around him if you want some extra risk. And I'll also go through today a good question from Mr. Yucky about he's a bit concerned about iron ore and its impact on MVR. So I'll go through that when we get to iron ore section. Okay, so not a bad day for the tank. He's up nearly 2%. Onto our Australian share market, so the VAS, we're just we got our fingernails on, and that's because of this thing here, the XFJ. So this is our financial institutions forming actually a bit of a bear flag here. That's a downward sloping channels are bullish, these ones are bearish and right on support. So that's obviously driven by this guy CBA. I thought I thought we might be able to even have a rally up there, but CBA, Macquarie, Suncorp, there's just not much oomph going on there. So the tank's the tank. Okay, so S&P 500. So we're rallying, so it was a good night. So again, it's got a break here to confirm the trend's back on. It's probably a whole lot of people short with stops here, so I'm sure Wall Street will have a go at them. The Nasdaq, same, bounced off, so that does not look bearish. Gold, okay, so we've broken the handle, and I bet you there's no, actually I was reading the positiveness for gold is at like lows. No one's interested. I bet you if you go and stand outside that building that they were lining up on, no one would be there. And this is when everyone should be lining up. Anyway, Aussie dollar gold, very nice. So XGD, so that's our gold index, looking good. So the miners, good day, 6%. Not bad. So that's led by so Newmont, Agnico, Franco, that's the royalty company. Okay, this is the gold miners over the gold price. So gold, it should be the other way around. So the gold miners are now starting to outperform the gold price, which is what you want. GDXJ, it's the one in America, so that should have a good night tonight. It's the one that's got a whole bunch of our gold stocks in there, so they're big holdings. So you got PAS, Alamos, and Evolution's got a pretty big weighting in there as well. So again, so gold's looking good. Well done to those that have been buying those dips. Copper. Okay, so copper's looking nothing bearish there. So the wire ETF is up 4% today. So that looks alright. So our stocks that are in there, Sandfire. So having a bounce, BHP's having a bounce. So that's good. He's actually, well, let's just do a talk. So BHP's iron ore and copper. I'll have a chat to iron ore later about that other. But he's the biggest holding in MVR. So, like, he's got a lot of room to move to punch the tank up. Capstone. So that's a nice declining wedge happening there. If you're over in America, so CopJ, that's still looking okay. So the big holding there is this Taseko, NGEX. You can see they're all just basing here. A nice declining wedge there, Ivanhoe. Okay. So uranium. So spot price just flat. But as I said, I think this will be the floor because most of it's traded at contract. Floors at 75. So the old URNM finally got a bit of a bounce. It's up 4% today. Again, though, a nice declining wedge. So it's led by Kamiko, bouncing off this support here. Kaza didn't do much. But the SPUT, so the physical uranium trust, had a bit of a bounce. So I think the bottom on URNM is in. No one's talking about it either, so best time to buy. URNJ, so that had a bounce last night. So that's led by UEC, Denison, NextGen, and Palladian, our boy. So they've all got these declining wedges here. It doesn't mean it's, go up there like, I don't think we've got one of these moves, but it's a basing pattern at support. So just hang on. Okay. Rare earths, so REMX. Just it's got a few lithium boys in there, so that's alright, it's fine. Linus, so not much. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's not doing much, so that's life. MP Materials, so that's found support there. And Aluka not doing very much. So the old rare earth space is a bit boring really at the moment. Okay, the lithium gang. Go to a weekly. So Lit P, the one in America. So that's a bearish pattern there. The lithium price though is very bullish. So our boys, Pilbara. Go to a daily chart. So it's holding up quite well, really. It might be deserving of an arrow soon. Not yet. Some of the other holdings in Lit P is this Gang Feng. They might be at support. SQM, IGO, Liontown. So they're all catching a bit of support around here. So interesting. Keep an eye on that one. Oil. So oil price, well, they had a bit of a bounce last night. So I still think we're somewhere near a bottom. Other people will say no. Natural gas. That well, there's those. So there's your declining wedges. So that's what you're looking for. Is that? So the King. Woodside is hanging around that 25. I reckon you'd have to have a. Okay, come on, Rudy. Put your money where your mouth is. I didn't want to put one up here. That was where you should have. But I reckon if you haven't got him, or you want to top him up, yep. So how's the switch going? This is the get out of CBA and into Woodside, triple the dividend. So he needs to do a little bit more, and then he's already proven himself. If you actually made the switch back in June, you'd have more money in your pocket. Origin, it's another one in the tank. He's looking like he's got support here. 5% fully franked div. Okay. Other. Okay, iron ore. Okay, so the question was if the iron ore, everyone's bearish about iron ore, it hasn't got a good outlook, will that affect the tank? So we got BHP, we got Rio, so both of them basically have half iron ore, and we got Fortescue in the tank as well. Now the good thing is when people are bearish, just look at the price. But the thing is, the way I see it is, the other half of Rio and BHP is copper, so that's where their growth's going to come from. And this iron ore price just has to hang around. This is in yuan, but if you convert it, it's about $100. And their cost of production, so BHP and Fortescue is $18 and Rio's $24. So the iron ore price can stay here just for the rest of its life, and that they're still making their $75 a tonne profit. So that pays your dividend, that pays the bills, and they spend their money on copper. And you also got India. India currently, they basically produce iron ore and they use it, but they're running out of it. So over the next 5 years, they're going to be relying on imports, and we've got the good shit over here, the high grade stuff. So while China demand may peter, dwindle, India, they got 1.5 billion people. It's not a bad sum. So no, I don't think it will impact the tank. It will help pay the divvies. Okay, hopefully that answers your question, mate. Alright, had another request, getting a few requests these days. The food ETF. So it's been an old favourite. It was when I first started the channel, one of the ETFs. Now rounded tops are usually bearish, but they can break through and become bullish. If we look at just the top holdings in them, so you got Kubota. So it's not really it's really an ETF of like trucks and stuff for agriculture, not necessarily grain, like the price of grain or whatever, or wheat. But anyway, that looks fine. Nutrien, as they provide crop inputs, so they're just having, that's a bit of the sort of the food type chart pattern. Deere, so they're the big Deere, your big trucks. That looks fine. ADM, Archer Daniels, that looks fine. And Mayu Beanie, well, that's already off. So it's not a bad diversifier, something different. Okay. Silver, how's my girlfriend going? Okay, so we've broken the declining wedge here. and she's just moving up nice and slowly. Very nice. Let's see if the boys can smack her down. I don't know if a lot of people know. It's a very heavily shorted market. There's like 100 times the amount of paper sold for what's being held in the LBMA, because it's just traditionally been a paper swap. No one asks for physical delivery. That's what's kept the price down for decades. I learnt it back in 2000 when I was trying to trade silver. Lost money. Anyway, but yeah, it's heavily manipulated, but their game's running out. People are starting to ask for delivery. So the girlfriend, when they let her go, she's going to go wild. So zinc's looking fine. Lead's still a bit of a lead balloon. E2E mag, that's your silver, that's looking fine. SILJ, so finally SILJ caught a bid. Nice green candle, so let's see if we get some follow through. Well, it will once that silver price goes. XMET, well, on the weekend I thought you might be able to get it down here. So that looks good. South 32, it's really zinc, lead, and aluminium. So if we look at some of the players in SILJ and XMET, so you got Heckler. This is a beast. This thing, $12.50 cost of production. When that will that will rip. Cure. So you can see, look at all this upside to go, and there's a lot of it there, and Wheaton. So that's them. Have a quick look at our guys. So Poly, and we'll go to a daily to have a look. So not much action there. BHM looks fine. So these are our developers. BML, MMA, My Kitchen Rules looks very nice. MKR, SVL, that looks like it's getting a bid. And then the guys that are sort of exploring old mines. So you got, that looks, get a better picture on that. So AZI, that looks right. AVM, so they haven't really, AQI, that's catching a bid, look at that. That's a Sweden. Oh, that looks good. ASL, BKB. So this is the old JBY. They paid for their silver project in scrip at 50 cents, I think it was. USL and West Coast Eagles. So not a lot of excitement yet. Okay, then healthcare. Okay, so yeah, there's been a bit of a switch around, sort of defensive. That was a buyback there before. Drug. Anyway, that's probably too late to get into. So if we look at some of our local lads, ACL, that's looking pretty nice. Ansel, that looks very nice too. Aya, okay, so it's got a so it looks like $3. I don't like a double top happening there. I think it just needs to consolidate, but you could expect to move down here. It's a pretty bad weekly candle. Not a sell though. AI1. This is an IT stock. That's what, because we got asked about it. And so, well, let's start with these ascending triangles are bullish when broken. If it can come down here, but that's an ugly candle there. There's a lot of selling, so I wouldn't be rushing into it. CYP, that looks like that's getting some giddy up. Helios, it's an old one. Anyway, that looks alright. I didn't go, where's CSL? Okay, let's have a look at the daily. No, I have said it, if you can close above these levels here, it would be worth a go, but it's struggling. So technically it's still not a buy. What's this one? IMR. It's got that nice cup and handle, so if you like that stuff. LDX. That's having a bit of a breakout there. NAN. I should give that another. That's found good support there. NEU, that's holding on pretty good. Don't know what happened here. Ramsey, I didn't have a buy on that one. I don't know, there must have been something happening there. Private healthcare. ResMed, it's just a great stock, so if you like it, I think it's a good support area. Sonic, that was an old buy. So you can see there's a bit of action going on in the healthcare space, and SPL, that's continuing its run. All right, I think that's a wrap for the day. See you tomorrow.